Hi everyone, this is Mohit, founder of Unotag. On Master of Sales podcast, we have Shrimay Mohanty with us, and we'll start off the podcast with Shrimay. Just give us a introduction about you and your company.
Hi everyone. Good evening to all of you. Good to be here with Mohit and just to give you a brief intro about myself, I am an engineer plus a MBA finance guy. Have nearly 10 years of experience until now. Worked with companies like TCS. Didn't enjoy the IT part so much. Being behind the desk. So kind of went and did my MBA. Mostly wanted to do a general management MBA, but then ended up doing financial MBA. Mostly because I foresaw myself getting into a marketing financial role in the near future. So that was idea, and then I worked with companies like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Decathlon as a financial business partner and advisor. Pretty much a very on and off ride where certain times I didn't enjoy the role, and I think that post working with Decathlon in 2019, I want to kind of explore a little bit, further and be part of the more client-facing roles. Right? That used to kind of excite me a lot in terms of talking to clients and understanding their, business models, and which is why I left that job and joined pretty much a new real estate startup. So that was more of a B2C role where we are structuring the products, not just selling parcel of land, but probably we used to tie up with, innovation is the key here, right? So we used to tie up with certain operators like Oyo, TripAdvisor, and then understand the requirements. That, a lot of people who want to have some kind of staycation, right? Go to the outskirts of Bangalore, have some kind of staycation there. And we then went into the idea in terms of structuring a product where we are, instead of selling these plots to people, we are selling a vacation home to people. So it went on pretty well for some time, and then the dreaded COVID hit us. The entire sector went down. So that was one challenge that I couldn't kind of complete, I would say. Post that, figuring out, work with a lot of people, networking definitely helps. The entire time that you're sitting at home, you can definitely, like I say, improve your visibility in terms of your network. That's I mean, it's a very big part that I've learned off late. Having all the people, you need to show people that you exist, right? It can be in an entrepreneurial stint, or it might be at your work as well, right? We had a thing in Decathlon where we used to keep posting about what you work, right? That's more important to have visibility on the kind of work that you do. So that's one thing that I've learned over the period of time in terms of being in touch with people, and don't look at people as somebody who can help you all the time, right? That it has to be both ways. So you need to be able to be there for people when they have the bad times, where they are going through a bad time or something, and then you need to be able to help them out, not directly maybe, but probably point them in the right direction. And that's only going to happen when you stay in touch with people. So your network
Yes.
is one big factor that MBA teaches you that more than anything else. They teach you how to network, and that's something that holds in good stead. So that was it. And then off lately, I have joined the Recur team. I'm heading the entire outreach program here, director of sales and marketing here, and we are pretty much a new age fintech solution. I would probably call it the best solution that's there in the market at the moment for founders, especially when they have to kind of raise money to take care of the business for the next couple of years, right? So we are trying to set up a new system which helps people to set up their own company and have visibility on the kind of money they're receiving, and without having to spend too much time worrying about the capital part. So it's been an explosive journey so far for me. The last couple of months we went live, and then speaking to a lot of founders, a lot of decision makers such as Mohit itself. I remember connecting with him directly on a call, understanding his business, and figuring out if there can be a solution or not. So it's more important for me when I spoke with Mohit to understand what is his requirement, what is his business plan, what is his vision exactly, and how can we be a fit, what kind of solution we can provide. So in terms of sales, I think more than anything, you need to listen to the other person, right? Understand exactly what they want and solve that purpose, right? And that's mainly the thing that looking at. You can give them product fit, but then they won't stick with you for a longer time. So sales for me is
Yes.
a complete cycle which involves right from the then you touch base with the person, and then completing the cycle, right? You need to be able to complete the, when I say completing, in terms of your, your customer service, your support to the person at any stage of time. So that's exactly what I believe, sales is for me. But happy to know your thoughts, Mohit, about it.
Sure, sure. No, Shrimay, in fact, that is what sales is. It is about getting to know people and getting to know their problems. And you have rightly pointed out. And in fact, a great journey. You have moved from TCS to completely finance-based solution where you
Yep.
help companies organize their finance. And you have, of course, reached out to me as well. So on the front that you would have led teams and you're leading sales at Recur, how do you motivate people to give their best performance? Like, what's your few lines on that thought?
That's a very nice question. So, to answer that, I think what I need to identify as a sales leader is the number of the kind of people that I can work with, right? People should have their own drive to wake up every morning and go for it. Just to give you a small example, today at Recur here we don't have a sales team per se, right? We are pretty much a 10-member team, and it's basically on a couple of people here to do the outreach program and speak to them. I had a very terrible day today. Not much luck with companies and founders in terms of, so it's a bad day that I can tell in the person front. But then you need to have that drive that there have been times when I've got rejected. People have dropped calls 4 5 times on a stretch. And how do you kind of cope up with that? Take a break, take a smooth break. Go for a walk, 15 20 minutes, and that's the max you have. You can't waste more time, right? So give yourself half an hour and then start calling the people that you think will answer you, right? I mean, some people that you have touched base upon, that gives you a little bit of confidence again to start your pick up the pace once again. So that's one
Yes.
aspect that I always keep telling my people that who were under me, that there are times it's going to be difficult. Sales is not going to be easy for sure. I mean, people honestly don't respect sales people too much. That is one thing that I've seen pretty much in all my career. Right? And I'm not a typical sales guy as well, right? So now when I see all this, I'm like, okay, wow, this is not a very nice place to be at. But I feel that there are certain ways that you can pick up a conversation with people and keep that conversation driving. So I look at those aspects of person's personality before getting them on board, right? They should be able to engage the other person, right? That's more, instead of selling it, I want them to have a conversation with this person that they're trying to sell, and then figure out. So drive is something that it comes automatically, and at times when they are low, it the leader needs to show some kind of support to them in terms of pacify them that this is all right. It's not the end of the world. It's a bad day, and you're going to pick up tomorrow and do the same thing. So that's a grind that salespeople have, I feel, and pretty much that's the only motivation factor for them. And then they need to see results. As a leader, I need to empower them to show that they have the right tools to achieve success, right? Tell them the right information, give them all the facts about the product, and tell them that this is it, right? So when you get on a call, you should be confident to answer the basic level questions at least, right? Forget the next level discussions, but the basic level questions that the customer might have, you should be able to answer that. So these are the things that you typically kind of equip these people with, and let them then go out and express themselves, right? So that's next thing is on them, and then you empower them.
Yes, Shrimay. That's in fact a good insight. In terms of motivating people, you have to be there with them, and that's how they feel a part of the bigger game plan or the bigger system. And
You're
they,
right. That's one more very good point, that they should feel that they have a stake in it, right? So
yes,
incentivize them, and don't put up bigger milestones for them. Break it down to smaller milestones, and then probably help them reach those smaller milestones faster, and that will give them a
uh,
spurt of growth to go faster as well. So don't tell them that you need to onboard say 50 companies, or you need to have 50 clients. No, start with 15 to 20. Let them reach a small milestone. Celebrate that success with them, right? They'll automatically feel a part of the entire ecosystem there.
sure. And just on adding on that, what are some of the KPIs you have tracked, or you feel that okay, these are the KPIs I am reporting to? Is it closure? Is it the number of people I'm meeting, the number of conversations I'm starting? So just 4 or 5 KPIs which you
So
track for
I,
yourself
I
right
think you're
now.
pretty much with the, you have touched base upon all the basic metrics that people have in terms of sales. I mean, those are anyway the, metrics that you have. What off lately that, we have been trying to move towards is more of a OKR, right? Objectives and key results. And that is more not a business metric. That is more of a, team game that you have. So that is the OKR that, the OKRs nowadays that's become a big, trend that we are trying to structure our team based on the OKRs. That you find out that these are a team level, an organization level, goals and responsibility that you need to figure out, right? And basis that you find the leaders for a particular role and then assign it to them, right? And that is the change that we are trying to bring about right now instead of individual metrics. When I said that we want to celebrate success, we want to celebrate as a team, right? I have a colleague here, Anurag, who is a VP of Sales and Marketing, and we want to celebrate the victories together. That's exactly we want to work in tandem. We as a team have set a target of X number of companies, right? And it doesn't matter right now that he gets more or I get more, right? I mean, it doesn't matter the same because eventually we are working towards a benefit of the organization. So that's exactly how we are trying to move away from the traditional metric driven way of sales over there. I will not name a tech firm, but then I'm pretty sure most of the people here will know about a very famous tech firm, which has a very toxic sales culture, right? I mean, it's a hire and fire policy. So, I mean, that's something that I'm not a big fan of. You need when you hire someone, you need to be able to you're basically taking charge of their life as well, right, to a certain extent. So give them time to nurture, blossom, and then take a step, call when it does nothing works out for both the parties. But this is something that I've recently put my thought into it, and then this is something that I believe in.
What's your ideal sales process? Like, just give me your sales process which you have done, which you have felt that okay, this is something which has generated success for me. So step
Right.
one, step two, step three for a new lead.
So the main thing here that I'll say is, you need to the product that you're selling, the product you need to understand everything about the product, right? I mean that's the first thing. It might not happen when you join in a firm, new firm, and you need some time to do that. But my suggestion would be to probably take more time. The first initial the first 30 60 days of when you join a firm is like a make or break, right? There's a beautiful book called The First 90 Days. I recommend all of you to kind of go through it. It tells you exactly what happened in the first 90 days in a firm. So that's the time for you to ask the questions, the right kind of questions about the product and understand the product, right? So once you understand the product, you can understand what's a niche, right? Which is your market? What is your target audience, right? Then prospect, right? Prospect on your own as a sales guy, I'm the director here, but till date I sit up every night till 2 o'clock to understand to prospect in terms of the suitable companies that that can be a target audience, right?
So do you
So
use
that is
LinkedIn for prospecting, or are there any other
I use
tools?
a I use multiple tools. I use Zoom Info. LinkedIn is one for sure that we do use at our firm. Uh, I think Zoom Info, Lucia, these are the tools that you have in terms of getting access to a person. But I'm telling you right now, there's such brilliant companies coming up in the Indian sector in terms of marketing tools and in terms of enabling you. I've recently saw a platform called as B2 Brain by Mr. Sridhar, and it's fantastic, right? So what it does is you can have your CRM tool and you can have your prospects. What it does is I gathers real time information, right? The recent news about a person prospect, and then it presents to you. So you're not going into a call blindsided, right? You have a basic idea of the company, of the person, and then you get into the call. So these are the tools that you should basically use, but then learn prospecting at a very early age. I mean, that's something that's going to hold you in good stead in the near future. So that those are the tools that we definitely use. Excel is a brilliant one. I mean, people who don't have access to all these, Excel is pretty much, and then write it down. I mean, you need to know as a sales guy that if I call today, when is my next call scheduled, right? So how do you track that, right? If you do not write it down, there is absolutely no way you're going to be able to track down because the volumes keeps increasing with time, right? So you might have 10 people today. Imagine there are 100 people. How do you kind of reach out to everyone? How do you keep a track of it? So tracking your work is very, very important for you to be a successful salesperson, I would say.
Got it. So yeah, I think there could be some more insights on the sales process front after the prospecting. Yeah.
Right. So LinkedIn, you get the data, you then start reaching out, probably say a hi on LinkedIn. The process is very slow over there, right? So for this typical salesperson, cold calling is the best way, right? I mean, there's no substitute to cold calling unless someone introduces you, which is going to take a long time. You cannot wait for such long, right? So you need to have the thing to pick up the phone and call this person up, and then, like I said, very important to engage in a conversation with them, because the first 2-3 minutes, yes, maybe not, you might lose the person, right? Engage with the person. So once you've identified it, my go-to role is I'm going to call this person up, I'm going to speak with him, and I'm going to take my chances there, right? So that's exactly how things start, and then you never know. I mean, typically the sales conversion rates will be around 10%, right? So imagine, so if you have to hit a target of 10, you have to literally call 100 people, and that there are times when people might not even reach the 10% in the first 100 companies. So you keep grinding, you keep digging. Maybe that when you reach 250 companies, you will find 50 odd sales, right? 50 odd conversions over there. So that's the beauty of it. I feel that is something that you need to kind of ensure that the process shouldn't stop. Whatever happens, the process of grinding, of reaching out shouldn't stop. So cold calling is a perfect example. Warm leads are always helpful. You have references. Probably ask this person to introduce themselves, and you personalize your emails as well. Like when you're sending out emails to someone to connect with them, to not write a long mail, keep it very short, and give them a couple of pointers that you think you can solve for these person, right? And basis that, get a reply from them, and then follow up a couple of times. One mail you send, the person might read it, but they might not choose to act upon it, right? Send them a reminder mail, say 3 days down the line or 4 days down the line, but do send them, and then once, it has happened with me also, right? I mean, I get a lot of mails. The second time, I do make sure that I respond to the person saying that, listen, I am not sure if we're going to be using this product right now, but let's circle back in some time, right? And it's important to kind of always be a nicer person, kind of respond to people, even if someone's calling from the sales team, from some loan, something, it's okay. I mean, it's their job, right? They're calling you, pick up the phone, say that I'm not looking for it, and then just move on with the day.
Makes a lot of sense. So as salespeople, if we believe in karma, we have to be humble.
Absolutely, especially the guys, the founders as well, right? We need to know that we are again human beings, and we need to show that kind of respect to people, whoever it is, right? So that's something that I hope that that happens with everyone. That'll be a good change to see. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my thoughts.
Yeah. Shrimay, so just I think we have got good insights in the process front and what you do things to fire up. So just a small rapid fire where we kind of get your opinions on specific topics. So it is incentives versus no monetary incentives. What do you prefer?
Incentives all day long.
And would it be on closure or would it be on effort as well? So effort would be outreach with no closure.
For me, it's effort. Like I said, right, OKRs is more important to me right now. Initially, it was the closure, but I think effort matters a lot, because I know if this person has done the work for some time, may not be him, but somebody else will reap the benefits for sure. So efforts, sure. Yes.
Sure. And what would you prefer? Like if you get a list of 100 people and you have to cold call everyone, or you get a researched 15 leads and you just have to reach out to them, what would be one of the two things you prefer?
This is a very interesting, but I think I'll go with the second option. Very slim margins, but I'll go with the second option of prospected 15 qualified leads that you can call, right? I mean, right. Now that's something that's pretty much like, because I would anyway, if you give me a list of 100 people, I'm going to prospect myself, and then come to that 15 or 20 number of people so I would rather have that 15 in hand.
Great. And do you prefer competition among teammates, especially sales roles, or no competition? Like do it completely as teamwork, or have some individual goals as well?
No, I think that in a sales team, you need to have competition, right? I mean, that's how you push each other. That's how, I mean, look at the Indian cricket team over there. I mean, we have a bunch of 30, 40 people who are pushing each other all the time, right? I mean, there's no breathing space. So that's how sales, I mean, it's Darwin, survival of the fittest. I don't want, it's a pretty outdated theory, but then it keeps everybody on the toes, right? Like, not in terms of insecurity, but in terms of performing, that you are selected here for a reason, that because we believe that you are good enough, right? And now you need to kind of be in the same level with all of these people and perform. That's it, right? And work as a team. You have teammates supporting you. That's more important. It's not competition, but then teammates should be able to support each other for sure.
Great. Thanks, Shrimay, for your time. We had a good session with you, and appreciate taking out time for the podcast. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, Mohit, as well. Wonderful to be here, and thank you for having me here.